1 second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh,
did he bring it in? He did.
It is.
Caught!
Small town, bright lights on Halloween night. The old gatekeeper takes on the upstarts for a fight. Tonight, it's the Section 6 Class C quarterfinals with the 8-seed Salamanca Warriors taking on the 7-1 Barker ROY-HART Bulls. Hello and welcome. I'm Carson Harper, joined by Tom Prince, under the direction of Tim Gardner. Tom, we've got a great matchup tonight. Overarching, what can we see from these two teams?
You're going to see, I'm going to right now quote Dick Gallagher, smash mouth football, period. We knew that coming into the game, but this weather is going to make it even more happen out there on the field. Wind is blowing every single direction there is possible. You're going to need to run the ball today. It may mean every single possession's got meaning out here today.
Right off of Lake Ontario. It's 43 degrees outside, but it feels like 25. Yeah. Every bit of 25. Let's talk about the visiting Salamanca Warriors. They're defending their section title, but there's been some ups and downs, some things they've battled throughout the year. What's been the story of the season for the Warriors?
Well, you look at right now, they started off great, and especially the big win we looked at early. And I apologize, I thought that was the national anthem. That's why I stopped right there.
Well, we will step aside for the national anthem and get back into the storylines right after this.
Your Bulls are coached by Bill Groening and assisted by C.J. Knight, Chris Post, and Eric Lundy. At this time, please rise and remove your hats and join me in our pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good luck.
All right, Tom, so let's get back to the Salamanca team. How did they end up here tonight?
So what I was about to say was their big win early on the season, everybody circled, was the CSP game. That was a defending state champion. You made it to the state finals last year. Boy, that's a game everybody circled on. You get the win. Then it was a little bit where the bump in the road happened. That was Portville. That's where the big bump in the road came. And that was when Portville started making their advancement into the playoffs. A little bit banged up as far as Salamanca goes. Not necessarily full injuries, but just banged up a little bit. And guess what? That happens to everybody in the season.
Sure.
You went through it. I've done through it as coaches, right? We've all know you're going to have that point in the season you got to battle through. And you can see Salamanca has battled through that to get themselves back here. And then when you look at it, that last game to me was the big game. That was Chautauqua Lake, Westfield, Brockton, where they lost 28-25, but it was a nail-biter all the way through that. That's a game right there that they know they're ready to come into a game like this, that they know they can play with some of the best teams that are out there. And again, had another CSP connection because that's where Coach is right now,
yep.
Ty Harper from CSP, that he is now the head coach of that Chautauqua Lake, Westfield, Brockton team. So you can know this team has been battle-tested. They know how to win. They've done it last year. They've got a core back here that has done it from last year, and that's the one thing. Experience, you can't go ahead and teach experience. You got to go and experience it and see what happens.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later on tonight throughout the storylines that unfold. That Chautauqua Lake team, the second seed in the South, they take on Akron tonight. Winner of this game takes on that game. Now let's swing it to the other side. The Barker ROY-HART Bulls, they really surprised many this season. What did they do to come in as a 1 seed here in Class C?
I'll tell you, they surprised everybody but themselves. This was something they've been planning for. They knew it was coming this way. They knew this team was going to be a team to be reckoned with. And you know where it all begins? In the trenches. Look at their trench play right there. There was one thing you and I talked about before the game started. 5 guys that could come out there, run the ball, and be effective. To do that, you've got to have the line to open up the holes, and you've got to have the line to be able to give you the opportunity to get those extra yards that you're looking for.
Exactly. 5 different players with 45-plus carries for the Bulls. Well, the home team, Barker ROY-HART, deferred to the second half, so Salamanca will return the opening kickoff. Tyson McCaw's got it teed up, and we're just about ready to go. It's Friday Night Lights. It's playoff football. It's an onside kick. Early on, it's bobbled, but picked up in the second line of Salamanca, and they'll take over at their own 44-yard line to start off. Tom, what can we expect from the Salamanca offense?
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be depending on the weather out here. We know that. We've got to expect a ground game that's going to be able to happen. But no doubt that this Salamanca team, can sling it. They've proven it before, and we know that they're capable of going out there and slinging it with the best of them. They're going to be led by their quarterback that's out here, Peyton Bradley, 985 yards on the season, and he's got 9 touchdowns. This is one of the players that comes back from that team that gets to the state finals. This kid's legit. This kid can lead a team.
First down and 10. The Barker faithful getting loud early on. And we've got a little bit of movement up front. So we're going to talk about experience. It's an offside penalty on the defense. 5 yards brings up first down and 5. Head coach Chad Bartosik in his 7th season. He is 51-20 at the helm of the Warriors and 11-6 in the playoffs. And on the other side for Barker ROY-HART, it's Bill Bruning, his first season back, 7-1 for the Bulls. Bradley is going to take it himself to the wide side. He finally makes it to midfield with a stiff arm, and he's got a first down from the first play from scrimmage, a 6-yard quarterback run.
When you know that the line on the other side is going to be aggressive, is going to be strong, they're going to get access and penetration into the backfield, you got to figure out a way to get to the sidelines as quick as you can. That's exactly what Bradley does right there, and you saw he had a one-on-one matchup with a defensive back out there. That's an advantage right there to anybody, especially a kid like Bradley that could run the ball and be effective running the ball.
Not a small customer at the helm, 6'5", 210. A former tight end the past 2 seasons for the Warriors. He's going to hand this one off to Connor Steely up the middle. Steely's got the off tackle, a first down and more, so 2 runs, 2 first downs for Salamanca, moving well on the ground here.
Carson, I always like to see how games start off because you see trends and you see things that somebody may see right there on film. What did we see right here early on by Salamanca? 2 runs to the right. Even though they were different people, it was the exact spot they were trying to do. Do they see something on that right side of the line that they're trying to attack?
First down and 10 from the Barker ROY-HART 30-yard line, following the right guard, right tackle combination of Thomas George and Kason Hardy. Bradley's in the gun. He's got a fullback in front of him. That's Xavier Escobar. They put a man in motion. They're going to fake it to him. Bradley's going to keep it himself, but he's stuffed in the backfield. It's the middle linebacker, Joe Ryder, senior, 20 total tackles, a tackle for loss there.
Also in on that was Jacob West. Both of those guys come in there into the backfield, make a huge play right there, especially after the 2 effective runs so far for Salamanca. First time they don't go to the right, what happens? So you start to see trends, what coaches may see or what they're trying to attack on film early on.
Connor Steely will remain the tailback to the right hip of Bradley. He had almost 250 yards against Fredonia a couple weeks ago. A pair of touchdowns that week as well. They're going to put a man in motion. It's Ghani. He's going to get it on the far side and taken down from behind. It was number 26, Vinny Fazio, first in the section in fumble recovery, so the kid knows how to find the football.
Oh, listen, this kid I loved. We got a chance to talk to him when he came in on our show. This kid just wants to go out and play football. He doesn't have any plans after next year. Like, he just wants to go ahead. He's going to play football now, and then he's going to get a job right after that and be able to go and make some money is what he wants to do. This kid's a worker is what he is out there.
3rd down and 11 for the Warriors, their initial drive. Couple of first downs, but now Bradley backs up, looking for a receiver. They tried to set up a screen. He catches it far side, only picks up a couple of yards. And that will set up 4th down and long. Looked like Connor Seeley came down with that one.
You can almost say that was a coverage play is what it was. And that was because there was great coverage downfield. Bradley did not find the opening he was looking for, so he was trying to find the closest receiver that he could get it down to. That's where you give credit to the Barker ROY-HART defense right there, because they really came up big on that last play.
Barker ROY-HART on the defensive side will really lean on their backfield. Just 5 sacks this entire season in 8 games played. 4th down, we'll call it 8. Salamanca has the offense out there. 3 receivers to the near side and a running back to the left hip of Bradley. He gets a snap and he rolls out left. He's looking for a man downfield. Bradley finally fires this one down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Broken up by number 5, Connor DeSarkisian, and it's a turnover on downs on the first drive of the day for Salamanca.
Yeah, that was sent over to Waylon Dowdy is who that was sent over to. He's trying to make a play, comes very close. And what I liked about Bradley, even though you didn't complete it, he was patient. He didn't try to get that ball out quicker. He was trying to get his man open, trying to give him some time to make something. I like the patience we just saw there from Bradley.
Bradley, this is his first season starting at quarterback, transferred from Cattaraugus Little Valley before his sophomore season. He was a quarterback there. 1st down and 10 for Barker ROY-HART offense. Under center, they're going to hand this one off to the deep back is Ryder, and he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage by the other side of the quarterback, Bradley, and that'll bring up 2nd down and call it 8.
Boy, Bradley read that really well. Did you see that? He's playing the safety. He came out almost at the safety position is where he was when he started, at least. Really read the run right there and attacked the hole and made sure he filled that gap right there because it was just on the outside of the end, and he does a great job of filling that spot and be able to make the tackle.
Ryder is a deep back again. He averages 108 yards on the ground. Quarterback fumbles a snap and a fall on it. So very quickly, it is 3rd down and long for the Bulls.
And we said, to win this game, you're going to have to win it in the trenches. And, boy, you're seeing both trenches right now step up in this game. Maybe a little bend by Barker ROY-HART right there, but, boy, they've really closed it and made sure they made the stop to get the ball back. And Salamanca trying to do the same exact thing right now in these set of plays.
This Barker ROY-HART offensive line, just 2 seniors, a pair of sophomores, and a junior. 3rd down and call it 6. They're going to hand this one off to the deep back, Ryder. Ryder gets up the middle, gets behind his pads, and across the 36-yard line. It won't be good enough for a 1st down, but it makes a very manageable 4th down here for the Bulls.
But I'll tell you, Ryder last game against Maritime Tapestry had a game and a half as he went over 200 yards in that one. In fact, on the Skylines report that I do, he was one of the running backs of the week, and he absolutely deserved that honor in the big win that he had there.
A pair of touchdowns as well, along of 46. It was really it's going to be a quick snap up the middle. Couldn't see who got it. Definitely wasn't the quarterback, McCaw.
I think they're going to give it to him right here.
They will. It was Vinny Fazio who came up and took the snap and got a 1st down. So 1st and 10 for the Bulls.
And you and I have done a couple games already, Carson, and how many times we say this is that interesting spot on the field. We're seeing more and more teams go for it. And that wasn't even to the 40-yard line right there. That just shows how much they believe in that offensive line.
Fazio not even a yard back behind the quarterback, but they're going to give this one up to Ryder. He bounces off of one tackler, but is eventually swung down. It is number 10, Brandon Ghani, there with the tackle. We'll call it a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
That's a great play right there by Ghani. And you can see just look at right now the setup of Salamanca, folks. You can see right now they're planning on the run. There is a box that you look at that comes from the ends out. Almost everybody is in that box right now for Salamanca. They're expecting the run, and they're playing the run right now.
Just 5 minutes into this one, no score yet. They're going to hand this off to the up man, DeSarkisian. He'll pick up a couple of yards, and there again is a big pile. So staying on the ground is Barker ROY-HART, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 7 after the gain of 2 yards.
And we talked a little bit about this line right now, but listen to some of these guys on the line for Barker ROY-HART. Ben Hess, 5'7", 200. Caden Rogers, 6 feet, 275. Logan Flint, 5'11", 285. Aiden Munn, 6'1", 215. You can see they got the numbers. Jacob West, 6'3", 255.
They're going to give this up to Ryder, the deep back, but he only picks up a couple of yards. Again, the teeth of the Salamanca defense real strong early on.
And they really are, especially after that first set of downs. Now for the second set, this is a tougher. This is a much longer fourth down right here. So the question is, does Barker ROY-HART go for this? And if they do, I'm going to look for the same man that we've already talked about, which is Fazio. And you can see Fazio going out to a receiver spot right now. That's the guy they look at, especially in these short-term positions right here.
He's a receiver at the top of your screen. As McCaw will roll out to his right. He's looking for a man, finds a sideline, and it's nearly intercepted. Incomplete. Stepping in front of that one was number 28, Connor Seeley. He had an interception last week, 1 of 2, and it's back-to-back turnover on downs to start this contest.
Seeley doesn't knock that down. That gets completed right there, right along the sideline. That is an incredible play by Seeley right there. A great heads up. As you see, he does it right on the sideline. Wow, what a play. And it gives Salamanca incredible field position and an opportunity to see if they could keep moving the ball just like they did in that first drive.
McCaw, the quarterback for Barker ROY-HART, has completed 65% of his passes this year, just 4 interceptions, and was flirting with disaster there. First down and 10 from the Barker ROY-HART 44-yard line. 5 minutes to go in this very quick first quarter. It's going to be a sweep to the far side. Quentin Brown will take it. He picks up a first down, gets behind his pads, and another 5 after contact. What a run there, as we've got a offensive lineman slow to get up. Looks like Evan Spruce, the senior, or Trench Trophy nominee in Week 5.
Now, another play to the right. There is something they're seeing over there. They are attacking that right side as an opportunity for them to be able to move the ball. That's been multiple first downs as they've gone to that side. It seems to be the only stops have been trying to go up the middle or an option to go to the left side, which is our side closer to the Barker ROY-HART bench.
First down and 10 for the Warriors. Bradley's in the gun. And we've got a whistle before the play. Encroachment on the defense, second one of the day, just 2 penalties, both on Barker. We hear from Ken Harris for the first time tonight.
One thing I want to point out, we talked about it off air before the game started. These flags are all over the place, folks. We have an American flag literally right across the way at the 50-yard line. We've seen that blow towards the opposite end zone, and I've also seen it go straight back right there. The wind is constantly changing. You don't know what you're going to deal with the wind on that field.
First down and 5 for the Warriors. They're going to fake it to Brown. Bradley's going to take it himself. He makes a move, bounces it out to the outside, escapes a shoelace tackle, and picks up a first down. Sweet feet from the 6'5 quarterback.
Looked like he was tap dancing out there. He just did a little move right there to the left and moves it right over to the first down. And again, another great opportunity by your veteran player right there. And that's what you want. You want right there. The reason he's at quarterback is because he's the veteran. He's one of the leaders out there, and he comes up big on that play right there.
And he knows how to win. 2 years ago in the Far West Regional against Leroy, 10 seconds left, third down and 11. He caught a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. I was lucky enough to see that one.
Absolutely. He's had a couple big catches there, I'll tell you that. We got a score that's affecting this game. We'll talk about that because it's the game that the winner of this game is looking to play.
Warriors go under center. They're going to hand this one off to Brown, who looks for a lane, dips his head, and picks up a couple hard yards before he's tackled down by a host of Bulls.
We got our first score update. It comes from the Chautauqua Lake-Akron game. Chautauqua Lake takes a 7-0 lead over Akron with 8:27 inside the first quarter.
And it was that Akron win in Week 2 that really propelled Barker ROY-HART, where they thought, you know what, we've got a serious chance this season.
And that's a team that they were looking like. There's a couple rivals, even though we know you can look at Newfane as one, you can look at Wilson as one, you could look at Akron as one. All those teams want to go out and make sure they get a victory, and you are exactly right. That's where it says we can do this.
So second down and 9. Bradley returns to the gun with Brown to his right. They're going to fake it to him. Bradley again off tackle. Peyton Bradley dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Salamanca. Peyton Bradley from 13 yards out.
I'm going to tell you right now, great run by Bradley. Great cut up there. Was very patient, waited for his block, and then cut right up and walked into the end zone right there. Great play by them. one of the adjustments we're going to have to see by this Barker ROY-HART team is everything that's running to that opposite side right now, because that is the success so far of the run game of Salamanca. Now it has to be, what adjustments are you going to make as Barker ROY-HART to make sure you make that stops?
It was Bradley's team-leading 9th rushing touchdown, which matches his amount over the air. Came in with 412 yards, 75 carries. It was a great tight end, but really him under center allows them to get him the football a lot more.
Well, he's technically the leading rusher, tied for the leading rusher, but he's the leading rusher and the leading passer. It just shows how much offense goes through this young man right here.
And really leaning on the right guard, Thomas George, a returning starter, senior, but really the right tackle, Kason Hardy, the sophomore. That right side, as you said, Tom, really doing well early on.
Yeah, and that's where you've got to give credit for Salamanca, because if you don't think that film doesn't come into play, folks, these young men will be out in those film all over the weekend, and usually on Monday is the day that they're really going to focus, because that film work will then lead into what's going to happen for practice for that week. And that's really where you're going to see every team just really go in and really dive into what they've seen on film. And then you got to look at it from another perspective when we talk about this. Remember, Salamanca got to play Friday. They got that one extra day as well, because you got to remember, these guys had to play Maritime Tapestry on Saturday. Even though they knew they were already going to come in as the top seed of the C North, they still wanted to go after that game and get a victory.
It was a 50-34 win over Maritime Tapestry for Barker ROY-HART.
And in the second half, Maritime Tapestry had the lead. So remember that. This was where they came on and then poured it on in the second half right after that happened.
So Wildcat formation, as they're going to fake the reverse and complete the pass to number 18, Cameron Bowser, the tight end, and the 2-point conversion is good. So just about 9 minutes into this one, Salamanca takes an 8-0 lead when we return on the NFHS Network. Easton Juddy's got it teed up, and he's going to line this one into the Barker ROY-HART fielding team. They fielded around the 35, is broken a couple tackles. Number 12, Max Townsend, the sophomore, sets up his offense. Let's take another look at what happened previously on the score.
And this is the touchdown. There it is. See, to that right side. And then right when he turned that corner, he went straight up into the end zone. And that's a great read and a great opportunity by him to see that hole right there. And here's a 2-point conversion. You're going to see he keeps the ball. That did not come from Bradley. That absolutely came from Quentin Brown as he throws that one into the end zone.
So down 8-0. The Bulls offense will go to work for the second time today. They hand this one off to Ryder. He breaks a couple tackles and picks up around 8 yards. A nice first down run there for the tailback. Ryder came into today 2 straight games with over 125 yards on the ground.
Carson, we got a next score update. This one comes from Silver Creek, Forestville, and Randolph. Silver Creek, Forestville leads this one 6-0. They didn't get the 2-point conversion, but they lead 6-0 with 2:52 left in the first quarter.
Second down and call it a long, short 3. McCaw under center. He's going to hand this one off to D. Sarkisian, who breaks a tackle or two and picks up a first down for the Bulls. Again, moving well on the ground.
But this, you know what I really liked about this one? I love, did you see the pull right there by the offensive line? They pulled right towards the Salamanca bench. It was a constant pull. That's where the hole opened up and the first down opportunity. Great job right there by the offensive line.
John Brigham, the sophomore right guard, in on that block. First down and 10 for the Bulls. They're going to give this to the up man, Fazio. Fazio will pick up a tough 5 yards. As it looks like D. Sarkisian was shaken up a little bit, but, I mean, anything's going to happen when it feels like 25 degrees.
Fazio's listed. I always love this. Fazio is listed at 5'10", 185, and he's a fullback. Normally you hear a fullback is 220, 230, you know, that big guy that's just going to be a bruiser. I don't care how big this young man is. He'll be a bruiser out there, and he loves contact, and he will mix it up with anybody out there. I love this kid Fazio as well.
You don't often see a fullback and a receiver in the same body. They're going to hand this one off to Ryder, who runs into a brick wall named Evan Spruce. 3 tackles for lost air, but pick up a short gain.
Yeah, there's a reason why you just said a brick wall right there, because when you look at what that young man is, Evan Spruce, 6'3", 245 out there, and when he hit him, his head was standing above everybody on that one, so you knew how big this young man was when you went and tried to attack that hole right there.
Good size from both squads here. A real heavyweight matchup. Even though it's 1v8 on paper, these are 2 teams that have had great seasons and face off tonight. They're going to hand this one off. No, they're going to fake it. McCall will take it himself. Makes a move on the corner, gets to the wide side, picks up a first down, and escorted out of bounds. Tyson McCall with a nice run there.
Yeah, great job. You saw that was when he got to the outside. Watch this. So you can see the minute he does. Now it's all speed to get to the outside, and he shows that speed right there to be able to get that first down. And I'll tell you, these rankings, the 1 through 8, it's not a 1 through 8 matchup. It's really a 1 through 4 matchup twice, because it is not comes out the way it is. It's the 1 seed in the north just playing the 4 seed in the south.
McCall is going to drop back after a play fake. He's flushed out right, heaves this one deep, and it's caught. No, incomplete. Couldn't come down was Ashton Ark, the tight end. He had it initially, but it was broken up by Peyton Bradley.
Yeah, wow, Bradley's playing a great 2-way football game right out here right now, and you can see he's having an impact on both sides of the ball. We've already seen him fill the gap, make a big tackle. You just saw a stop right there. That's the guy you want as your leader. And I'll tell you how many times you've played in some big playoff games yourself. Look at it. You always look. The stars have to come up big, and right now, that's a star that's coming up big right now for Salamanca.
And that's really been the bread and butter for the Bulls this season. They averaged 7.3 yards per carry on the ground, 17 yards per completion this season. So that good old-fashioned run it on the ground and fake it. They're going to give this up to Ryder, who picks up a few yards. But what can that do once you establish a run? Like we said, you're almost getting 7 yards a pop. And then when you do go with the play fake, you can get 17 yards per completion.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just break down. Remember we talked about the 5 people there? Ryder averaging 9 yards a carry. Sarkisian averaging 7.8. McCaw, 7.6. Andy Alfe, 5.7. Fazio, 5.8. It's unbelievable right there. Those are things. Think about that. 2 runs for any of them, and you got a first down every single time that you're carrying the ball. Boy, I'll take that as a coach any day of the week. And what you do when you do that, you control the clock, you control the time of possession, and you control how many times the other team's really going to get the ball and have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Well, they've each had it a couple times. Salamanca leads 8-0 after 1 when we return on the NFHS Network.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Third down and 6 as you see the flag blowing out from the near side to the far side of the field as these teams switch sides. Third down and 6 for the Bulls. They're going to give this to the deep man, D. Sarkisian, who has to jump over his own block and picks up a couple of yards. It'll set up 4th down.
That's legitimately what he did. Like you said, jump over his own block. But he does that and gains himself another 2 yards because he's got the athletic ability to not only recognize it, but then pull it through out there.
D. Sarkisian About 60 carries coming into this game. He had a touchdown last week, but it was really the Ryder show. Joe Ryder, 23 carries, 220 for a pair of tutties. Fazio, 91 yards on the ground. Also had 2 touchdowns in the air. 4th down and 5 yards to go. They spread it out, and we'll have a timeout from Salamanca. We'll keep it here, but we've seen a little bit of ground and pound. What has to happen to be able to push the ball down the field in the air, as we might see late on in this game, that's going to be tight?
So we don't know.
Very true.
I hate to say that we don't know, because this weather has constantly changed out there. And if you've got to go right now, you see Barker ROY-HART is going from right to left is what they're doing on the field. That, to me, is the hardest thing to throw right now against. We saw them setting up for a pass play right here, so you wonder if we're going to see it for the first time. Think about it. We haven't seen one ball thrown to this side of the field yet. We saw the one on the real short pass from Salamanca early, so I apologize. We saw one. Remember, everybody was covered well downfield, and it was a very short pass, so we haven't seen really how this weather is affecting any throws on this side of the field.
Barker ROY-HART, a team that will average 30-plus points per game. 4th down and 5. McCall drops back, heaves it to the far side, and it is incomplete. Hits the turf before it got into the receiver's hands. That looked like it was number 2, Carson Schwab. So another turnover on downs for the Bulls offense.
So again, was it thrown a little bit short? Did it seem to drop down there really quick? That's what we're out here talking about, that we just don't know. And remember, we haven't seen anything thrown farther than about 5 yards. So what's going to happen when you need to go deeper down the field? These are all things that we've yet to see, and we've got to kind of let it play out a little bit as we go deeper into this game.
For Salamanca, 21 points per game on the offensive side. They've rushed for over 1,200 yards. That's $150 per game. 1st down and 10 for the Warriors. 11 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first half. Bradley's under center, calling out the play to everyone with a wrist coach. They're going to sweep this to the far side as Brown. Brown has a couple of escorters, and he's got a 1st down and more. Quentin Brown down the far sideline to the 30, 25, being chased down into the end zone. Touchdown, Quentin Brown. A 64-yard touchdown for the Warriors, but there's a flag on the play.
The flag's sitting right at the 49-yard line, so this is probably coming back is where it is, and you're watching everybody come back right now. And that's exactly what we just saw. We saw the ref give the penalty will go against Salamanca.
It was on the far side, but hey, I mean, let's talk about second gear for Quentin Brown as we take another look here.
So you can see right as he turns, right there is where the penalty is called. That's where the penalty, but you could see when he gets out to the edge, boy, he really saw his speed take off, as you saw right there. Great block by your wide receiver, and then he takes it the rest of the way, all the way into the end zone. Some great blocks. Obviously, there's a hold, and it came back, but we were trying to just point out there was a lot of positive things also on that play for Salamanca.
Great block, good call. Great replay there from Tim Gardner. That's some real stuff there, Tim. 1st down, and we'll call it 6 yards for the Warriors. It's a spot foul, so that's where it sets up. Bradley, play fake, drops back. It's this one out quickly and incomplete. Intended for number 32 on the play.
Wow.
Kylan Jacobson.
I got a little bit of a shocking score right now, and it comes from the Health Sciences Kenmore West game. That is 0-0 at the end of the first quarter in that one.
Games all throughout West.
The same field that they played Will East at. Nope, that's exactly where that game is being held. Mulroy Field, right?
We've got games all over Western New York. Iroquois was victory yesterday. Lancaster over Niagara Falls in Class AA.
That was a great game, by the way.
They're going to hand this off to Brown. Brown gets upfield. Brown hits second gear. Or excuse me, that is Connor Seeley. So they switch tailbacks, and Connor Seeley takes it 40-plus yards. Another big play for Salamanca.
Boy, watch this right here. And this is all you got to give credit right here to the offensive line of Salamanca. Look at the pull. Opens up that hole. He goes right through it beautifully and then takes it right down to the field. 2 great runs right here by Salamanca, and they're really doing it right now. Left side, that was almost the same spot right there. Now you're seeing that Salamanca's really trying to go after that line and really try to run the ball effectively out here today.
They're going to hand this one off to Quentin Brown. He bumps it to the near side, gets under his pads and inside the 5-yard line. We're going to apologize right now for the near side goal lines. Pretty tough to see, tight angles, but we'll do the best that we can, and that'll bring up first down and goal for the Warriors.
Boy, you have to be impressed right now with Salamanca, the way they've come into this game. They really are taking complete charge early on this game on both sides of the ball. They really are showing that they are here to make something special happen. So far early, it's been Salamanca.
And another pre-snap penalty there. Salamanca coming off of back-to-back Far West Regional Championships in the last 2 seasons. It was a false start on the offense. So it was a first down and goal from the 4-yard line, which now turns into first and goal from the 9. Bradley in the gun. Waylon Dowdy, the go-to receiver at the top of your screen. Bradley will get the snap. He rolls out to the far side. He's going to tuck this himself. Bradley looking for the pylon, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Salamanca. The second rushing touchdown of the day for the quarterback, his 10th this season.
And I'll tell you, he gets a great lead block right there to get into the end zone. He takes off, but you know he is all going towards that end zone. Do you see the way he takes off? And then right before he gets into the end zone, he gets patient, waits for the block to happen, and then he goes in. Great job by Bradley. Great job as a lead block. And when we see the replay after the extra point, we'll give credit to that lead blocker right there as well.
And not only that, I mean, as a tight end, you don't really get a whole lot of opportunity for run after catch, but he really looks like a very mature runner.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Like, he's been a big part of this offense. And we knew this was going to be the young man that was going to be eventually going to play quarterback, and he really is leading this team tonight.
He's in the gun as Brown shifts to his right hip. They're going to put him in bubble motion. They look to swing it out to him. They roll back to the near side. Pass is caught and into the end zone. Good for the 2-point conversion is Brendan Ghani. So it is 16-0 Salamanca with 9 minutes left to play. Let's take another look at how Salamanca got on the board for the second time today.
But here's that touchdown. Watch right there. Now the block. Little bit. Look at 32. That block comes number 33. Caleb Jacobson is the one who lays that block. And did you see Peyton just wait for it? He's watching the block happen. The minute he lays that block out, boom, is when he goes into the end zone. Great job and great lead right there.
And if there's one thing you can say about a team coached by Chad Bartosik, they're going to be smart. And Peyton Bradley is just that, top of his class, 4.0 GPA. And they always look prepared. They never look like they're shocked at anything.
And guess what? Teams that go on to championships usually don't.
Yeah, and we've seen that year in and year out. 11-time section champs in their history. And for Barker ROY-HART, it's been a little bit different. They first joined in 2011, and that season they were Genesee League champions. But that merger in 2011 ended a 40-year history in Section 5 for the Barker School District.
To me, this is a very important drive here for Barker ROY-HART. Mm-hmm. You do not want to have the opportunity to possibly go down by a third score right here. I really believe one of two things has to happen. One, you put points up on the board. But two, at least have a sustaining drive to take time off this clock and really don't give Salamanca great field position. That, to me, is what Barker ROY-HART has to answer right now, because so far, this really has been all Salamanca. And now think of what they've also done. They've also not only are making you score, but they're going to make you go 2 2-point conversions right now just to be able to tie this up. And how much does that come into play, special teams and 2-point conversions constantly?
This one's fielded on the 20-yard line. It is McCaw, the quarterback, who is in on the return, and that's where he'll set up his offense. First down and 10 for the Bulls. The wind continuing to whip. As we said, 40 degrees, feels like 25, 40 mile an hour, essentially swirls.
I'll tell you, driving here, those trick-or-treaters were feeling some of that wind out there. I'll tell you, they had to be holding on those bags for light that they weren't letting that candy fly away. I'll tell you that.
But you know what? It's dry. Those kids that went out for Beggars Night, they had to deal with precipitation.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the games we did last night, it was pure rain that they were battling out there in the elements last night.
First down and 10 from their own 34. They're going to hand this off to Ryder. Ryder with a big stiff arm and then gets taken down. Pick up a few yards, brings up second down. Brayton Bradley, the quarterback for Salamanca, there at safety, laying the wood.
And he's done that a couple times already inside this game. He really has been stepping up on both sides of the ball.
That brings up second down. We said the 5.3 yards per carry for Barker ROY-HART, but 5 fumbles, only 2 lost in 8 games. And that's a turnover margin that they lead opponents 23 takeaways, just 6 giveaways for this Bulls offense. Second down and 7. They're going to put a man in motion across the formation. McCaw's going to take it himself. Goes up the middle. He breaks a tackle. McCaw down the center of the field. Tyson McCaw. Touchdown, Barker ROY-HART. The Bulls are back in business.
And boy, wait till we see this replay, because he goes right up the gut right there. He goes right up that A-gap, right up the middle is what he does, and then shows how fast he is as he takes it right into the end zone. Wow, that's the answer the Bulls needed right there. And now, folks, we got ourselves a ball game, as it's now, depending on what happens here on the 2-point conversion or what they do as far as any sort of conversion right here, could be a 1-score game.
It was 64 yards for his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. 2-point conversion. Bit of an interesting formation for the Bulls. McCaw is the quarterback. He's going to roll out to his right. Has to evade a couple defenders. Puts it in the end zone. It's incomplete. So a different look there from the Bulls. But the 2-point conversion is no good. They trail by 10. Let's take another look at the long touchdown run.
And we'll take a look. Watch this. He's going to go right up the middle right here. So the minute he gets, he's ready to take off. And he goes right up. See that gap right there? Does a great job as you see your lineman going opposite ways right there, which opens up that hole. And then he takes it the rest of the way into the end zone. But again, it's special teams that will now come into play. The one thing that you could say if you're Salamanca, hey, we let them score. I get that. But guess what? We stopped the 2-point conversion. This is still a 2-score game. So just by us doing what we needed to do on special teams, it was still a win for us, is what Salamanca's out there saying.
And not only that, you score on 2 plays, doesn't chew up a whole lot of clock.
Which, again, I think they wanted to get points on the board. You want to get that momentum, or you want to get that feeling that, yes, guys, we're in this. We can do this. Let's get behind this. Those are the things I think more that the Bulls were trying to do right here.
It also gives the home crowd something to cheer for on a chilly night. You got to stay up and moving. McCaw has it teed up. And he'll let this one fly. It's another onside kick fielded on a couple hops and taken down at the 44-yard line as Waylon Dowdy falls on top of it. First down and 10 for the Warriors.
You know, I want to give Barker some props right here, because this field is beautiful. This is a great field, a great complex. They also have baseball and softball in this complex, and obviously soccer and field hockey and everything else that comes along with this field. But this is a beautiful complex, a beautiful field, and when I pulled up, I was very impressed the minute I came in.
Yeah, first season with Barker as the head school between these two schools since 2016. They're going to put a man in motion across the formation. Bradley's going to fake it to him and take it himself, but he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle there. And who else but Vinny Fazio?
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you, he is all heart when he comes out here and plays, and he shows it out there again. Comes up with a big stop right now. But think about it. That's what a score can do for your team. That's where you really try to get, because you bring a little bit extra, that you believe in what's going on and you believe in yourself right now, and that starts to happen outside on the field just by one score. It's what we've seen so far from Salamanca because they have believed it.
The Barker ROY-HART faithful now coming alive. 2nd down and 9 for Salamanca. They've got trips to the near side. They put the running back into the slot. That's Connor Seeley. Empty backfield for Bradley. He drops back, gets it out quickly to the seam. That one's caught. Waylon Dowdy up the middle, and he's got a 1st down and more. Nice quick bang post there from the Warriors.
And we thought this was the weight side of the field. We were going to see a throw right here. But look at this catch. It's on his fingertips right there, and he still keeps his balance to get another 10 yards right there, and an opportunity for Salamanca to keep trying to get more scores right here to add to the scoreboard.
Dowdy's 17th reception. He had a pair of touchdown catches last week. And Peyton Bradley, real tall in the pocket, good stance there. 7th in Class C in passing. 1st down and 10. They're going to sweep this one out to Brown. Brown finds a hole, gets under his pads, and picks up a hard 9 yards, brings up 2nd down and short.
Yeah, just short right there. But again, they're attacking that opposite side of the field, which is Salamanca's sideline. They seem to, again, keep going that way to see if they can get another positive run and keep those chains moving.
Dowdy is coming off of a career-high 130 yards last week in that Chautauqua Lake game. They had 7 different receivers with a reception, did the Warriors.
In fact, Dowdy I had as one of the top wide receivers of the week on the Skyline report.
They're going to fake the sweep to Brown. It's a fake fall down play, and they're going to look for Dowdy, but it falls incomplete. And they tried to catch the Bulls' offense napping a little bit, but a great job again by this defensive backfield.
And that looked like it was Carson Schwab right there as he knocks the ball down, does a great job of knocking that one down and making sure that's not a completion and what could have been a touchdown right there if he doesn't knock that down as well.
Pretty similar route there from Dowdy. He's on the far side of the screen.
But I'll tell you, tell me Brown didn't really fake everybody out because he went down like he was getting the ball and it was taking it to the ground. Great fake by him.
A la Jared Goff. They're going to give it to Brown this time. Up the middle, he picks up a couple of yards, but looks short of the stick. And that'll bring up 4th down and short. Nice stop there for the Bulls.
Which brings a big 4th down for both sides of the ball right here.
Already had a turnover on downs for Salamanca. That was their opening drive, but since then, 16 points put up. They lead 16-6 over Barker ROY-HART with just over 5 minutes and some change.
You got leading blockers. They're looking to run this one. Look at the leading blockers right now. It's number 32, Kylan Jacobson, and number 44, Drake Piersdorf.
4th down for the Warriors. Bradley is going to take it himself. He's got a couple guys in front of him. He dives trying to get the 1st down, and it's certainly going to be close.
Wow, this is going to be really close. I'll tell you, the outside ref was coming in that it looked like he wasn't going to get it, and then they moved it up a little bit right there because you watch where that line judge is coming from any of the sidelines because they're looking where it is, and he was coming literally right on the 20-yard line is how he was running up.
Bradley just wanted just enough on this 4th down play.
No, I think that placement out there is actually right where it should be.
Yeah.
That's a great placement right there by the refs.
They're going to bring the sticks out for measurement. And again, talking about the IQ of this team, knowing exactly where you are on the field. Might have been a little bit of stumbling, but we'll see what the measurement is. Barker ROY-HART.
Still no signal, though.
Start,
look at, they're all looking
the
at
index
it.
card. They called a 1st down. Wow. 1st down, Salamanca. We've got early suspense here on Halloween night.
Wow. You saw everybody pointing the other way. There wasn't even a Salamanca player on the field, but it's going their way, and they're going to get a chance to come down right now.
And they're trying to move quickly. The Sticks haven't even returned to their sideline, but it's a 1st down run there for Bradley. It's going to be another Wildcat formation. We saw this on the 2-point conversion. Brown is the quarterback with Seeley to his right. They're going to snap it to Brown. He's going to take it himself, led by Seeley and a couple of linemen. Brown gets to the near side and escorted out of bounds, picks up a few yards, brings up second down.
So a couple score updates for everybody. Chautauqua Lake has now taken a 14-0 lead over Akron with 6:33 left in the second quarter. Gowanda has taken the lead 6-0 over Franklinville-Ellicottville with 8:20 in the first quarter. So we got some score updates for you.
So we'll see what the spotting is. They have not moved. There was a penalty on the play. We just now learned.
And this has got to be a personal foul penalty. That's a
set up first down and 15 for Salamanca. So either a 10 or 15-yard penalty.
Well, it could have been, I apologize, it could have been just a 5-yarder right there, being that it's still first down.
So first and 15, Bradley will check back in at quarterback. He's got Brown to his right. They're going to put a man in motion. That's Bowser, the tight end. Goes to the other side. And now it's Ghani in motion. They're going to fake it to him. Bradley dropping back, looking for a man downfield. Heaves it down the near side, looking for Brown. Incomplete. Ran out of real estate in the back of the end zone to bring up second down and 15.
But this is where we're going to see, I think, like we talked, this is where the ball's going to get thrown on this side of the field because of what the weather's giving us. But again, a total change of the flag again. I've watched it just in the last, since I've said that, it is blown 2 different ways out there, and it just shows what these players are dealing with out there on the field.
4.5 minutes left here in the first half. Carson Harper joined with Tom Prince. Happy to be hanging out with you on this Friday night with Class C quarterfinals. They're going to put Seeley in motion, fake it to him. Bradley keeps it up the middle, pulling guard, but he's wrapped up after a short gain. Vinny Fazio in there on the tackle, as well as John Brigham. So to bring up third down and call it 14 for the Warriors.
The only thing I don't like about this game is the winter jackets I see out here. It's the first time we've seen this many winter jackets out because of how cool it is outside.
They're going to give this off to Ghani up the far side, but he is tackled quickly. Again, the bend don't break as D. Sarkisian is in on the tackle there for the Bulls.
Well,
fourth down and long.
Think about this, Carson. Really, the difference right now is that penalty.
Yeah.
That penalty pushed them back right there, and that's what they've been trying to overcome. That's been really the big difference on this set of downs.
Barker looking for a big stop here after they responded. It was 16 unanswered points to open up this contest by Salamanca. Barker had a 64-yard rushing touchdown from Tyson McCaw. And they're looking for a big stop here on fourth down and 11. Bradley, play fake, rolling right, looking for a man downfield, directing traffic. Bradley moving out of the pocket, and that one falls incomplete. It was intended for Dominic Hill. The senior can't come down with it as it falls out of play, and that is a big turnover on downs for the Bulls.
I still love what I'm seeing from Bradley out here because incomplete or not, you're doing everything you can to keep a play alive. You're making sure that you're not making a hasty decision, make a bad decision to be an interception. You're waiting for one of your guys to get open, and you could see he's being very patient about it. And patience in a game like this, especially a playoff game, really bodes well for anybody out there, especially a skilled player.
First down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They're going to get this one out quickly, caught by Ed Analfi, the slot receiver. He was in motion on the swing pass. He'll pick up a few yards, brings up second down.
That's a pass they like to do with Fazio as well. That swing pass, just get outside the ends right there and to be able to make something happen along those sidelines so you get that matchup with a defensive back out there.
Ed Analfi, that was his 10th reception of the season. So second down and 6. McCaw will be in the gun with Ryder to his left. 2 receivers on each side. They're going to fake this and give it to Ryder, actually. Ryder breaks a couple of tackles and works for a hard 7 yards. First down, Barker ROY-HART.
Great job by the line. The push was to the opposite side of the field of Salamanca. They get the push, and then Ryder was able to go right to the outside of the end right there and get that first down. Great job by the line and a great run for Ryder to realize that. Be patient and go around his end.
And Coach Bruning said this line is young. They've got good size. They're smart, but also creative, always trying to come up with adjustments throughout the game. First down and 10. McCaw is going to take it himself. Tries to make a move. Breaks a couple of tackles. And another. Tyson McCaw down the near sideline. Tyson McCaw tiptoeing to the 20. 10. Touchdown. Tyson McCaw. His second of the day. This time 66 yards.
Folks, we got ourselves a game right here in Barker. But what was big about that play? Yards after contact. We saw 3 broke tackles right there, but he does it on his own because of what he does, keeping those legs moving, and because he kept it moving, he gets the positive play, and then you see shows some speed right there as he takes it down to the end zone.
I mean, in 2 rushes, he's got over 100. He's got exactly 130 yards with 2 touchdowns, really putting the team on his back, and now we've got a different ball game here, awaiting a 2-point conversion.
And think about that. When you look at yards on the season, he's considered the 3rd in yards on the team. And look at what he's done. That just shows you what the backfield of this Barker ROY-HART team can actually produce.
Ryder will get the direct snap, and Wildcat has to try to break a tackle, but a huge stop here for the Salamanca defense, and the 2-point conversion is no good. Let's take another look at that touchdown run.
Just watch this. You can see as he comes out, breaks it to the outside. Here we go. There's 1. There's 2 broken tackles right there. There's 3 broken tackles. And then you could see the rest of the way, he just shows his speed and gets down that field into the end zone. A great job by him to really show off that speed and really show off that yards after contact.
And not only that, Jacob West, the sophomore lineman, got a little 2-for-1 deal. Well, 2 Warriors on the ground with 1 block.
Yeah, and we saw that on the touchdown play by Salamanca the opposite way when we talked about Peyton Bradley being patient there and let that block happen for him to go into the end zone.
So we've seen a couple of onside kicks here for Barker ROY-HART. Salamanca leads 16-12, 2:20 left to play in the first half. It was 16 unanswered points from the Warriors, and then right back come the Bulls with 12 of their own. But still a 1-possession game, but the momentum starting to swing to the home sideline in the last 2 possessions. McCaw has this teed up. Waylon Dowdy, the receiver on the hands team. Peyton Bradley near us in the second line as the ball falls off the tee. Barker from 2022 to 24 in Class C were 8-19. This year completely turning it around. Now it's 7-1. It's going to be a deep kick this time from McCaw. Salamanca was not expecting it. It lands around the 15-yard line, still not picked up. Finally gathered in by a Warrior and tackled down around the 20-yard line. A huge special teams play there, really catching the Warriors off guard.
Yeah, in fact, this will be the worst starting position for them all day so far because they really have had incredible field position. And when you look at the special teams, when you look at both teams, so far it's been a special teams victory for Salamanca. And the reason right now for their lead still right here, it is 2 two-point conversions. That's a difference.
First down and 10 from their own 21-yard line. But this is, as we said, the side where Bradley can spin it downfield. Trying to figure out the formation. And we have a flag on the play. Too many men on the field for the Warriors, so it'll bring up a first down and 15. And now this is a lively defense.
Let everybody know, at halftime, we're going to get a chance to go to the out-of-town scoreboard and give an update on every game that's out there, not just the ones that I'm trying to get out and keep people abreast of out there, but we're going to get a chance to really tell everybody every score that's out there. And I'll tell you, there's some big games happening out there today.
First down and 15 for the Warriors. They're going to sweep this to the near side. It's Brown. Quentin Brown makes one move and then taken down by Fazio and company. Jacob West also in on the tackle.
A great job by Brown. Really, again, waited to make sure that hole opened, and then he attacked that hole and did a great job of even getting those couple yards right there. Sometimes you realize 2 yards, you're fighting for it sometimes, and that's right there an opportunity that he took advantage of and still got a positive gain out of that.
Inside 2 minutes, Salamanca just one timeout. Barker ROY-HART has all of them. Second down and 7 for the Warriors. Bradley under center. He's going to give this to the deep back. And it was Brown who picks up another few yards. Sets up third down, tackled by Carson Schwab. First down, so that'll stop the clock momentarily. But it'll get moving as Salamanca picks up the pace just a bit.
And you got to wonder, they're going to have to go to the air at one point here if they're going to try to get a score. So don't be surprised we start to see them go to the air, especially with 1:15 left inside this first half.
Bradley in the gun with Brown to his left hip. They're going to put a man in motion. It's Ghani. They're going to fake it to him. Bradley will take it himself. Already escapes a couple of tacklers. Bradley tries a reverse field. He's got a first down, but the clock keeps ticking. Nice run there from Peyton.
Nice stop there by Max Townsend because Peyton was moving really well in that pocket, and he was moving east and west inside that pocket. Really found every opening there was to be able to get that first down.
Connor Seeley will check in as the running back. As we move inside the final minute here in the first half. 2 receivers on each side for the Warriors. Bradley gets the snap, play fake, drops back, fires it over the middle, and it's intercepted! It's intercepted! Down to the near side is D. Sarkisian, and he's taken down around the 35-yard line. Wow, how this game has been.
Literally say right now, if we look at quarters, first quarter goes to Salamanca, second quarter really has gone to Barker ROY-HART right here. But what a great job. We knew they were going to need to go to the air, and you know at this point, so did Barker ROY-HART. Really sat back real nice, and you can see a perfect read by D. Sarkisian and does a great job of being able to take it back. And now what you've done is you've got more than enough time on the clock to be able to try to go and get a score yourself.
As well as 3 timeouts. It's the third interception for Carter D. Sarkisian. Just a junior, so again, one of the young players for the Bulls. 60% of their team will be returning next year. First down and 10. They're going to hand this to the up man, Ryder. Ryder makes a move, and he's hit second gear and dives for a first down. And it looks like we'll get a timeout from Barker ROY-HART.
Yeah, and there's a reason why this young man has been their top rusher so far on the season. That's when you start leaning on your guy. Does a great job up the middle. Takes it a little bit to the right side right there, but really takes it up for a first down. And now puts the Barker ROY-HART team in a very good spot. But here's the replay. And take a look, you'll see. As that comes down, he's going to get the handoff. A great push. Did you see the lead blocker right there was number 52, R.J. Townsend, and he goes right into that hole behind Townsend and then takes it up for a first down.
Townsend, one of the leaders on this team.
Absolutely. We got a chance to talk to him, and I'll tell you, one of the great stories in an interview that we did with him is Coach couldn't believe it. He started coming first film session, and he's got his notebook, and he's writing notes down, and he said, Coach said, you know what? You know what it did? It started causing other players to bring notebooks, and then all of a sudden he had half his group there with notebooks taking notes and being so cognizant of what's happening in the film.
They're going to give this to Ryder again, picks up around 5 yards, and another timeout here from Barker ROY-HART, each team now with 1 remaining. But Bill Bruning, coming into his first season, told the kids before the season, says, listen, if I lead you guys, we'll be a good, mediocre team. But if you guys can lead from within, we will be a great team. If we've really seen this come to fruition this season.
And again, that's what you got to do, though, sometimes is be patient, especially when you are a run-first team. You've got to be patient. You've got to make sure those blocks are there. You've got to make sure you don't give in, because the minute you give in and try to be a different team and pass the ball a little bit too much, you change the dynamics of who you are, and it becomes very hard to go back after that happens.
So 2nd down and 8 after a gain of 2 by Joe Ryder. Carter Sarkisian is the running back to the right of McCaw. He's going to drop back, looking over the middle. He's going to fire this into the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Barker ROY-HART. It's Anthony Adenolfi, the senior, his 2nd reception for a touchdown this season. And for the first time today, the Bulls take the lead.
And I'll tell you, you're watching that ball drop, too, when he actually threw that. Drops in the end zone. What a great throw right there. And I'm going to tell you, when we see this, we talked about right there the lead block that happened that gave him the time. Sarkisian right there was the lead blocker. You saw how much time he gave his quarterback to throw that. That I can't wait to show everybody when we get a chance.
Again, the funky formation as we get back into reality here for the Bulls. It'll be an extra point kick here from McCaw. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and no good. Into the teeth of that wind blowing from close to you to the far side, so the extra point is no good. Here, let's take another look at this.
So watch this. Watch Sarkisian right here. See him out in the backfield? He's going to come up. Watch this lead block. Boom, right there. See the lead back? Look at the time he gets because of that block from his bind side, and he throws it right in for a touchdown. Great job right there by that team. And I'll tell you, 18 unanswered right now. That's happened so far by the Barker ROY-HART team.
And let's talk about the read there from McCaw. You see the safety spin down, fire in the seam right into the end zone. That was his 9th touchdown pass of the year. Well, we had 16 unanswered from Salamanca, and now 18 here from Barker ROY-HART. They take the first lead of the night, and this small town of around 500 people has come alive.
So we do have a score update. It comes from the Health Sciences Ken West game. Health Sciences leads Kenmore West 16-0 at halftime.
Again, we'll get all those scores to you at halftime with the Around Western New York scoreboard. We've still got around 7 or 8 seconds left to play here in the first half. McCaw has it teed up. And it'll be a squib kick up the middle. Received by Brown. Looking to make a move, and it'll be taken down around the 37-yard line. And we'll see what Salamanca chooses to do here with just 3 ticks left on the clock.
So you wonder if they're going to just take a knee right here. Or you do try to make a play, and I totally understand if you do try to make a play, because the wind right now kind of at your back is the best way you want to explain it. It just depends when we get a chance to look at that flag out there.
Bradley will go under center. They're going to pitch this out to Seeley to the far side. Seeley has some steam. He picks up a first down and more, taken down around the 44-yard line of Barker ROY-HART. Wow! That was an electric first half. The Barker ROY-HART Bulls lead the Salamanca Warriors 18-6 in the Class C quarterfinal when we return on the NFHS Network.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
You have no business being out there. Terrible.
You know, I'm a person too.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously. Yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football. Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
We've got an 18-16 ball game. Barker ROY-HART leading Salamanca here in the Class C quarterfinal. I'm Carson Harper, been joined by Tom Prince tonight under the direction of Tim Gardner. It's a Western New York Athletics crew here on NFHS. Halloween night, we've had quite the ball game. Let's take a look at how we got to this 18-16 game. It was Salamanca early and often. Peyton Bradley with a touchdown run. It was his 8th of the season. That was from 13 yards out. Then we saw this funky two-point conversion here from Quentin Brown. He fakes the end around and tosses it into the end zone. That one was caught by Cameron Bowser, the sophomore tight end. Then McCaw. It's been his show. Tyson McCaw on the ground has really carried the boats for this Bulls offense. But then we saw Quentin Brown. He was hitting second gear. This one got called back, but again, the athleticism here from both backs, Seeley and Brown. The junior just had 14 carries coming into the ball game tonight, but he's really done well just as a sophomore. This was Seeley on the far side. And Connor Seeley, the junior, took that inside the 20. And then it was Peyton Bradley, 9 yards on the sweep, getting a block on the far side. And that's where it was 16-0 Salamanca. Both of their two-point conversions were good, both in the air. Brendan Ghani comes down with that. But let's go back to Tyson McCaw. because he said, you know what? We're sick and tired of having a goose egg up on the board. Let me just run 64 yards into the end zone. Stiff arm, how you doing? Keep it moving down the field. As he's had over 130 yards just in touchdown runs alone. Then Salamanca with it, firing over the middle. That one was caught by Waylon Dowdy. Really the only pass play we've seen go for 15+. We've talked about the weather all night being a factor. Then you have Bradley taking it to himself here. Tried leaning in for the first down, and this is really what had everybody on the edge of their seat. We all thought it was a 4th down stop, but it ended up being a 1st down. Didn't mean anything as Barker ROY-HART turned to Tyson McCall again, breaking 3 tackles before he even reaches the line of scrimmage, and then goes 66 yards into the end zone. That made it a 4-point game with Salamanca still on top. They now had the ball after that run. So another pass intercepted by Carter D. Sarkisian, his 3rd of the season, and this is really where the game was turned on its head. He gets the ball. Salamanca was driving with 1 timeout. Then Barker ROY-HART gets it on the 35 of the opponent with all 3 timeouts, and this is where they started the drive. It was Ryder off tackle. He sets up the team really well there for a touchdown pass from Tyson McCall, which we're going to see in a moment here. He found Anthony Adenolfi. McCall fired it over the middle, and that's where we stand with this 18-16 game. That was a 9th touchdown pass of the season for McCall. Well, we're going to take a short break, then we'll get you all the scores from around Western New York here on the NFHS Network.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
no business being out there. Terrible.
You know, I'm a person too.
There's your money shot tonight. A wild and windy Halloween night here in Weston, New York. Let's take a look at some of the scores around Section 6 here in the quarterfinal. So last night, Lancaster defeats Niagara Falls. Jamestown, Lockport in the first quarter, 0-0. Orchard Park, Hutch Tech will play tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to get a refresh. I think that's what he's going to do right here. We're going to refresh the scoreboard. Everybody get some updates here.
All right, Class A. McKinley on Thursday defeated Clarence 36-7. Will North up 7-0 at half. Health Sciences, you said that was close in the first quarter, but they have a 2-score lead over Ken West. What are some other games that stand out to you, Tom?
Well, obviously that big one we were looking at talking about last night, that Will North Grand Island game we knew was going to be a battle, and it absolutely is at 7-0. Will East, West Seneca West, they'll be tomorrow. You've got right now, I apologize, 7-6. My apologies, I read that wrong. It is Will North 7, Grand Island 6. Again, it's I'm getting laughed at because I'm wearing glasses and I didn't see the 6 right, so I apologize for that. Will South over Olean 21-7 right there. And really, the Chautauqua Lake game is the one that applies to this right here because the winners are going to meet. So you're talking about Chautauqua Lake with a 21-0 lead over Akron. You've got Wilson leading Cattaraugus Little Valley 16-0. How about the Silver Creek Forestville game? We gave you that score earlier. They're leading Randolph 6-0. And again, Gowanda leading Franklinville Ellicottville 6-0 in a close one. That is actually a big surprise right now as Franklinville Ellicottville really, we haven't seen some big games from them. Are we getting that big game right now, at least on the defensive side of the ball for them?
A lot of great games here on Halloween night. There's a lot of places you could have been. Could have been to a party. You could be taking the kids out to get them full-size Snicker bars, but you're here with us, so we appreciate that. I'll be running to 7-Eleven to grab me some of those later on. Barker ROY-HART deferred in the first half, so after 18 unanswered points, they will get the ball here to start the second half. Easton Chuddy, the kicker, has it teed up for the Warriors. He's boomed it each of the couple times that he's kicked this away. As he will line this one over to the far side. That one's received around the 25-yard line and taken down around the 43. Nice return there from Ed Anolfi. First down and 10 for the Bulls.
We got a score update from we just gave right there. Silver Creek scored again. It's now 14-0. They're up over Randolph with 3:51 in the third quarter.
First and 10 for the Bulls from the 42.
First down and 10 for Barker ROY-HART. They lead on Tyson McCaw. Really the first time all day where they've been in the driver's seat with hands on the wheel. McCaw's in the gun. He's going to take it himself, tucks it, rolls to the near side. He makes one cut, heads up the middle, crosses midfield. Nice pickup there. It looks like it could be good for a first down on their first play from scrimmage here in the second half.
And that was a great block right there by Ryder as he comes up down there, and you can see there McCaw follows him. Ryder gets that big block, and he gets by him right there and be able to get that first down.
Ryder, 5'11", $185, has led the team on the ground, over 100 carries, around 900 yards now on the season. They're going to give it to him. Ryder is shot out of a cannon early on and picks up around 6 yards. Call it 5. Brings up second down and 5.
And that's what you do. You feed the guy after he makes a good block right there. You feed him, and he does that and gets you a great yardage right there on that second down, on that first down to make it a second down.
So a little bit of pace slowdown here from the Bulls. We said that we could see this from a run-first team. They were chasing Salamanca early on in the game, but now this is really the first time where we could see how the Bulls want to get behind their offensive line. Second down and 5. McCaw is going to take it himself. Breaks a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but then wrapped up. It is number 11 on the tackle, Waylon Dowdy.
I'll tell you, I was going to give some great credit right there to Logan Flint on the line. I don't know if you saw the way he came out, but he came out pulling right there, and he was looking to be able to open that hole. But a great job right there by the Salamanca defense as they get a play for a loss right here and a big third down and a big opportunity. Because if Salamanca can get a stop right here, you can get the momentum on your what's happening on special teams.
Third down and 7. Already 2 minutes into this third quarter. They're going to get this one out quickly to Schwab. Carson Schwab makes one move, leans forward, and is close to the sticks. Let's talk about these safeties of Bradley and Dowdy really playing down and dirty.
We've been talking about him all day is what we have. But both of these guys have just done it on both sides of the ball. Also comes up big on that last play was Thomas George. And you can see he was one of the ones who just came up with that big stop. You don't make that stop, that's a first down. We already know that Barker ROY-HART's going to go for this. They've done it already. Back on their side of the field, they've gone for it. This is a big play for both teams.
4th down and 1 for the Bulls. McCaw's going to take it himself, gets up the middle for a first down and more. Tyson McCaw, another big run. He calls his own number, first down. Barker ROY-HART.
And he was on a mission. Just watch this. You knew he wanted this one. Look at he just takes right off, and a great job right there by the line. You see the turn. What that line is trying to do is push everybody towards the Salamanca sideline, and then you run behind that opening is what you do, and that's exactly what we saw on that play.
Already 3 minutes chewed off the clock here. It's a Wildcat formation with Ryder in the backfield, and Vinny Fazio, Connolly Cup Player of the Week in Week 8 last week, but we've got a timeout. Barker ROY-HART. They lead 18-6. We'll step aside quickly here on the NFHS Network.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
You have no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
First down and 10 after the 4th and 1 run. They're going to stay in the Wildcat. Ryder's going to take it himself, led by D. Sarkisian. And again, we have another pile up in the middle of the field. Good gain there. Brings up second down and short for the Bulls.
Everybody knows I love to give Dick Gallagher sayings there. One of the things Dick Gallagher used to always say is, who's the unsung hero of a game or of a season, whatever it may be? Who would you say is that unsung hero that you've said so much today that probably will not get any credit after this game?
It sounds like Carter D. Sarkisian.
That's exactly who it is. That young man has really stepped up in multiple different ways, from blocks to doing skilled plays. He really has been that guy that has done just about everything he needed to do.
So the pile actually got pushed back. It'll bring up second down and 6. McCaw in the gun with Ryder to his left hip. Snap. Looking to get it out quickly. Pump fake. Heaves it down the far side. Looking for Fazio. It is caught. No, incomplete. Just slipped out of the fingertips on the far side pylon, and that'll bring up third down and long.
I thought it was caught too, and you didn't see it until the ball finally bounced away from him where it was. But boy, he threw that where only Fazio was going to be able to get that. No other person was going to get it. He was trying to hit his man, almost comes up with a big play. Like we said, this is where you're going to attack the end zone by the air, because this is where that you can see you're getting some with the wind.
3rd down and 6. McCaw will give this off, but it ends up in the hands of Adenolfi. Anthony picks up a first down on the dual handoff. A little trickeration for a first down.
What a great job you're going to see right here. Here comes the handoff, and a double handoff, and you could see the hole was right open. Did you see where he went around the end right there and then took it straight up from there for a first down? You know, one of the things we're going to have to talk about here is we got 2 guys that also know the baseball world really well. We're going to get into that in a second, probably right after we get a little bit of a break, because there's some big things right now happening on this sideline that affects both baseball and softball, baseball and football.
1st down and 10 for the Bulls. McCaw is going to take it himself, tucks it under his right arm. Couple of stiff arms with the left, and he is taken down after a short gain. Well, if you've ever heard a broadcast between Tom and I, you know baseball is going to get brought up. And Bill Bruning, a longtime baseball coach, his son's both heavily into it, especially Jake, a fellow NU Purple Eagle on the staff.
Well, that's what I said. You've called his son on baseball games over at Niagara. He is now also a coach on the staff over at Hilbert, and he is on this staff right here for these guys. This is a young man that knows both sports. This is what we talk about, play multiple sports, and he is absolutely showing what did it for him to make him the athlete he was.
McCaw is going to hand this off to Ryder, and he's tackled in the backfield by Evan Spruce. To finish up that point, Jake, 4 years at Niagara University, and then his 5th at South Alabama in the Sun Belt.
So we got a first score update. We haven't given anybody yet. It wasn't on the scoreboard either. Jamestown leads Lockport 29-0 inside the second quarter.
That Jamestown team has been a wagon for years. 3rd down and 9. They're going to put Adenolfi in motion. They're going to swing this out to him on the near side. Anthony gets upfield, makes one move, shifting into the end zone, touchdown! A play that didn't look like much, but we got a flag on the play on the near side. Adenolfi making something out of nothing.
Boy, it looked like he was going to be tackled at a minimum 2 times, and I don't know how he broke it off to be able to get that into the end zone, but this is that spot for the flag. You can see they're really talking about this one.
Adenolfi, so it will be a touchdown. It's his 2nd of the day. That for Adenolfi and McCaw. McCaw.
And it looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct that's going to go against Salamanca right there is what they just said. So that'll happen on the kickoff is where we're going to see that going ahead, and the 15 yards will be assessed right there.
But how about this Bulls offense? 24 unanswered points with the extra point pending.
Especially at the beginning of this game, I really thought this was going to be a runaway with Salamanca.
Yeah.
They were that good in the beginning of this game, but boy, you've got to love the answer here by the Bulls.
Vinny Fazio is going to take it himself, and the conversion is no good. Let's take another look. Again, like you said, Tom, this play didn't look like it was going to go for much early on.
It really did. Watch this. You could see as the swing pass out. Here it is. There's one broken tackle. And look, it looked like his 2nd broken tackle, and then he takes it in. How he kept his footing on the first one, because it looked he was so low to the ground that he kept his position right there and then just took it the rest of the way. Great balance is what that was.
And we talked about this off-air before the game and also met up with Mitch Holtz, one of the assistant coaches here. They love to do that with Vinny Fazio all season long. Get the ball out quick. But now he's the lead blocker for Adenolfi.
Yeah. And again, that's wrinkles that teams come into play. And they've really done it by these short swing passes when they've really needed to. Really, the deepest pass was the one that we saw to Fazio that went out of bounds. But I want to point something out for you Salamanca fans. What you've done real well today is your team has done very well in the special teams. Look at all the scoring that's happened. You're only down by 1 score because they've stopped every single conversion that they needed. Whether it was a 2-point or a 1-point conversion, you've stopped every single one. That's why it's still a game. All that's happened, you can answer right here, and all of a sudden it could be still a tie ball game.
Still swing old man momentum into a Warrior jersey. After the 15-yard penalty on the touchdown, ball will be teed up on the Salamanca 45 as McCaw will get a little worm burner. Is fumbled on the far side. Does Barker have it? And they do! Ay, Dios mío! They pick up a worm burner, and the Bulls have the ball. The second turnover of the day from Salamanca.
I think you're going to see is what you see him is layout. See how he lays out early for it? I don't know if he should have gone to the ground as quick as he did, because also if he could have picked it up, I thought he had time to be able to pick it up and still run, because the minute you touch the ground, you're down is what happens. So I just thought he left his feet a little bit too early right there, and that was kind of the reason that happened for the turnover.
And now Bill Bruning is talking to the near side official as the officials are gathering on the far side. I think the question here is, was the returner down when he fielded the ball?
I don't think he ever had possession of it, though, did he? I never saw possession of the ball is what I never saw.
And that's the question that looks to be answered. And
whoa, they're calling up. There was a penalty called on this.
So we'll see.
Wait, hold on.
What comes of this?
So they're not saying a penalty. Hold on, folks. They're saying, I think, what you just said.
Yeah. The receiver was down. Barker arguing that he never had control.
Wait, hold on. They're moving the ball again. So we've seen a couple things happen right here. He's now got the ball in his hand, walking over to the Barker ROY-HART sideline.
So we'll see. It was the Barker ROY-HART kicking ball. They would have had the offensive ball out there, but now the officials talking to Bill Bruning. The Salamanca offense is on the field. Well, we ought to know better living in press boxes. You never talk about pace of play.
So got a couple score updates real quick. Chautauqua Lake is up 27-6 with 8:41 in the third quarter. Gowanda is now up 12-8 in their game as well. So we've got a couple score updates for you right there as they're starting to figure this out on the field.
So it will be Salamanca ball.
Wait, no. Are they re-kicking this? I think they're re-kicking this.
Ooh.
Yes, they're re-kicking this. That's why I said to you, when he pointed over, that was a penalty that was called right there.
Offsides on the far
you could
side.
see it. Yeah, there wasn't.
Wow.
That should have been an offsides call. Now, I understand you don't like that, but you're seeing it right there. Tim, great job with that replay right there. But that shows you he's ahead in front of the kicker right there.
Wow. You know, I might argue that this is the best three-man trio since Rush. We are doing it all here. Okay, the police. That's another good one, Tim. Okay, easy there, Tonto. We'll redo the kick here. Another close one. It's an onside kick. Barker tries a fall on it. Do they have it? They do! Oh, my goodness! They lose the previous fumble that they gain possession, come right back with an onside kick, and the Bulls have it.
And watch this. This one, and you knew this was coming. They've been doing this pretty much all game. But a great job you could see is it's almost like the front guys, what they did was they came up for the block is what they did, and nobody went to the ball, and that was the reason for the turnover to go back over to the Barker ROY-HART team.
Wow, Salamanca came in strong, but Barker ROY-HART kicks them out of the driver's seat, and now they're driving an 18-wheeler downhill. 24 unanswered points, and now they just stole another possession from the Warriors. First down and 10. D. Sarkisian is a deep back. They're going to give it to him on the cutback. He picks up around 5 yards, brings up second down and medium. Just 5.5 minutes left to play in here in the third quarter. As we said, it's been a long time coming for Barker ROY-HART. Back-to-back 2-7 seasons, now 7-1, 6-0 in Class C North play. Second down and 5. McCaw in the gun. He gets a snap, fakes it, takes it himself. McCaw's got a Warrior trailing him. He breaks a tackle, and another finally brought down by Peyton Bradley. First down for the Bulls.
Boy, he just has been like a second gear you see on him. Look at this. There's one, he's got the drag. There's 2 broken tackle, and then he gets taken down after he gets that first down. But it's just been that second effort. It's just been those legs that don't stop moving. They teach you that all the way in Little Loop. Never stop those legs, and that's why we're seeing so many yards after contact.
Winning the fight in a phone booth is Tyson McCaw. First down and 10. He's going to hand this up to Adenolfi, who follows his blocker, D. Sarkisian, and picks up a few yards, brings up second down. 4.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Adenolfi has really been, other than McCaw, the feature of this offense tonight, which is interesting because he only had 60 touches, 57 of which were receptions going into this contest.
Everyone always has that secret weapon that they know they're capable of, and it seems to be he may be that guy right here for the Barker ROY-HART team.
Second down and 7. They're going to give this to Ryder up the middle, but he is tackled quickly in the teeth of this Warrior defense.
It looked like it was number 44 right there, Drake Piersdorf, who comes in big right there to be able to help make that stop.
So call it a pickup of 2 yards, brings up third down and 5. 4 minutes and change left in the third quarter. Barker ROY-HART leading Salamanca 24-16. 2 receivers on each side. They're going to give this up to Adenolfi on the reverse. Adenolfi following a couple of blockers. How does he stay up? He's got a first down and more. He comes out of it. Touchdown, Barker ROY-HART. Oh, my, what a play.
Wow. At least 4 times. At least 4 times we thought the play was over and dead, and he just keeps going. His center of gravity, that he stays to the ground like that to be able to keep his balance, has really been something to watch out here tonight.
I don't know if I've ever seen a 3-legged bear crawl for a touchdown, but that's how he stayed on the ground, keeping the ball up. And now Barker ROY-HART has put up 30 unanswered. Pending the conversion here. And that was the 4th rushing touchdown of the season for Adenolfi. McCaw's in the gun with Ryder the deep back. Snap. They're going to fake it to him. Rolling out right as a quarterback. Pump fake. Fires into the end zone. Caught. Feet down. No. Out of bounds. And again, a 2-point conversion. No good. But Barker ROY-HART leads 30-16 over Salamanca. Let's take another look at this incredible touchdown run from Anthony Adenolfi.
But again, you can see we saw this play earlier in the game, and you can see here it is. 1 broken tackle. He stays up on his feet. 2, 3, and then literally breaks through right there and goes right into the end zone. It just was an unbelievable textbook type of play of how you don't give up even when somebody hits you and hits you hard, and he's just kept going. A little bit of the Energizer Bunny right there is what he was doing right there to get inside that end zone.
I mean, physicality has probably been the underlying theme of tonight, and really it's been the ability to break tackles here for the Bulls.
If you remember, when I started off the entire broadcast, what did I say? This was true smash mouth football we were going to see out here today, the Dick Gallagher isms, and it really has proven to be exactly that.
Yeah. Barker ROY-HART has stormed back here on a chilly, windy evening just off of Lake Ontario.
Just look at the time of possession right here, because we haven't seen even Salamanca have a possession, have we?
No.
They haven't had a possession here in the second half.
Kick this one off. It'll be another onside kick fielded by Whalen. Dowdy's able to fall on it, and now We'll finally get to see the Salamanca offense for the first time here in the second half.
But I'll tell you, if I'm even on that Salamanca sideline, this isn't where I'm going to go ahead and panic at this point, because you can still come down and make this a one-score game because of what you've done on the special teams aspect of this. So it's got to be calm. It's got to be patience. But it is a drive. You got to move the ball. You've got to give that defense a rest right now and do some things right here on the offensive side of the ball.
Winning is a character trait, and Salamanca has known it all too well. This is a tight ball game. They're going to hand this up to Seeley. Connor Seeley breaks it up the middle. How about that? For a response touchdown, Salamanca, one play, 57 yards.
Let's go back to the first half. 16-0. We said, Barker ROY-HART, you can't go down by 3 scores. You got to make something happen. It literally was 2 plays, and they scored. Salamanca does the same thing right here in the second half. Here's the answer they needed, and they're already back within a 1-score game. Think about it. If they can convert this, they can make a stop and literally go and take a lead still.
It's just been the way this game has gone. Finally, Salamanca able to get back on the board and a big touchdown there. Connor Seeley, his 4th of the year. He had over 400 yards on the ground coming into the game. He was tied with Peyton Bradley for the team lead. And that was just on 50 carries, 7.6 is the average. 2-point conversion. Bradley rolls out right, looking for his tight end, and it's caught. No, it falls out of the fingers of Cameron Bowsey, and the 2-point conversion is no good, but still a 1-possession game with Barker ROY-HART up 8.
And watch this run right here. You could see the minute he comes, he burst in. Look at the hole. Look at how open that hole was right there. Wow, what a job by the offensive line for Salamanca. And you could see the rest of the way he shows his speed. And look at this. Goes right up the middle. Right up the middle is where he had. How big was that hole when you saw it open up?
Warwick John, one of the guards, his back was to the defense. That's how well that play was blocked.
And that's exactly what you look at. When you're looking at running up the middle, normally what will happen is 2 things. Either you see the entire line push one way, or you see the center go help one side of the line, and the other side of the line is pushing the complete opposite way, which clears that middle open up, and then you take advantage of running up in the middle, or what we say, up the gut, up the A-gap. Those are all the things that will describe what happens when you go up the middle there.
So now Salamanca has it teed up. They respond to a rather ruckus third quarter here from the Bulls. It'll be a high end-over-end kick fielded by Vinny. Fazio gets it across the 40-yard line, taken down around the 43. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Already third possession of the half for Barker ROY-HART.
So you look at this game, what we've done so far. If Salamanca could come up with a defensive stop, where's the momentum now happen in this game?
It could turn rather quickly.
That's what I'm saying and that's what's happened in this game. Yeah. We've seen momentum go back and forth now. Now the question is, can Salamanca take it all the way back right here?
They won the first quarter. Second and third went to Barker ROY-HART. As the running back Ryder is swallowed up in the backfield. Tackle for loss brings up second down and long.
So you could take a look. So they're yelling. They thought it was a face mask. That's what the fans are out there. You can see that grab right there. You saw the head move a little bit. That's what they were all yelling at right there. But a great job. The first one that was in there that gets credit right there is Brandon Ghani. You could see he slows him down right there to get his teammates to come up and help him make that tackle.
Rap and rally is going to be the theme of the second half here for the Warriors. So it's going to be officially a no gain, second down and 10. McCaw in the gun. He gets a snap and hands it off to D. Sarkisian. And wow, is he swallowed up quickly by this defensive line led by Braden Wilson.
Do you remember when Salamanca went up 16-0 and then the Bulls went and scored their time? We talked about momentum is what we talked about right there. So when we talked about that momentum, remember the defensive hits right after that happened, that score? We're seeing now Salamanca with that same answer we saw the Bulls do when they scored. It's that belief. It's that confidence. It's momentum. And momentum is a dangerous thing when it keeps going back and forth within a game.
3 receivers on the near side on 3rd and 11. McCaw gets a snap, drops back. He's flushed out left. He's being hurried. He'll tuck it under his right arm and head for the first down stick. Does he have it? Yes, he does. What a scramble on 3rd down and 11.
And Seeley was trying to run him down right here. That's Seeley you see. See him coming right around the end right there. And it's a foot race between the two of them. And then you can see right there McCaw, just because he has that little bit of an advantage as he gets away, shows his speed as well to make sure Seeley can't catch him. That's a great job right there by McCaw to be able to get that first down.
So now a downs reset ball on the 48 of Salamanca. Just over a minute and a half left here in the 3rd quarter. Looking to add on to this 8-point lead as I hand it to D. Sarkisian, who picks up around 3 yards, sets up 2nd down at the 45.
Gain of 3 on the play.
A couple of the fans are getting a little upset out there.
Just over a minute left. That was a 3-yard run there from D. Sarkisian as Joe Ryder checks back into the ball game. Snap. Hand to Ryder up the middle, but he is grabbed up in the arms. Evan Spruce again making a nice tackle there from the defensive line.
Kason Hardy also in on that one as well, number 67, the sophomore. His older brother came through Salamanca, another big guy right there, but the big guy showing why he's one of the linemen. You talked about some of the youth out here on the line. To see a sophomore with that size out there in the line, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to be talking about that young man for the next couple of years as well.
And next year we got a Les Ardoni, who's a sophomore on the team. Brother was on those back-to-back Far West Regional champions. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. McCaw drops back, flushed out left, heaves this down the field, looking for his tight end. It's incomplete. No flag on the play as they ran into each other. Ashton Ark was the intended receiver. It's a tight call.
It's one of those ones. Guess what? If it's a no call, you're going to hear it from the offensive side. If it does get thrown, you're going to hear it from the defense. That's one of those ones that's going to go either way. I'm going to tell you. But I'll tell you, what a block right there by Ryder. Did you see the block that he had right there? Because then McCaw goes around his block so he could square his body, turn those hips, and throw that ball as deep as he was able to.
Well, after 3, we got an 8-point ball game with Barker ROY-HART on top here on the NFHS Network. 12 minutes to decide who heads into the Class C semifinals. This will be the first punt of the contest. That's right. We've played 3 quarters, have not seen a punt. It's been good, clean football. as Barker ROY-HART spreads this out. And McCaw fields a high snap. It's a fake. No! He's going to kick it. This will head down inside the 10-yard line and roll inside the 5. Is it downed?
No, it got in.
Into the end zone for a touchback. So not even a punt is normal in this contest. Each team is throwing the kitchen sink at each other.
And listen, when you're playing against a team that just went on to the state championship game and was legitimately a pass away from being named state champions right there, I'd be throwing the kitchen sink at them as well, because that's a team that has been that perennial powerhouse lately, year after year. You know what you're getting from Salamanca.
11-6 in the playoffs in the last 7 seasons as Brown takes the sweep to the far side and taken down near the sticks. But yeah, it was a buzzsaw of a Schuylerville team that they ran into at the Dome last season.
But again, it was a catch away that they could have won that game.
Yeah.
That's how close it was. So I was were we on the call on that one together?
I was on the sideline.
Oh, okay, so I was on the call up there. I remember that because I was going to be coming down to do a post-game interview. And I'll tell you, boy, it was an unbelievable game to be a part of. That just shows you how great this Salamanca program really is.
They're going to fake it over the middle and takes it as Bradley picks up around 3 to 4 yards on the first down run.
Give everybody a quick score update. Silver Creek is now leading 20-0 over Randolph with 3:17 left in the game right there.
So it'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Already a minute and a half shaved off here in the final quarter of play. Winner of this game will take on Akron or Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton in the semifinals.
It looks like it's going to be Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton. Remember the last update we gave, it was 27-6 in that one.
Brown is the deep back with Bradley under center. They're going to fake it to him. Bradley rolling out. He gets this one out quick, and it's in and out of the hands. Intended for the tight end, Cameron Bowser. The sophomore can't come down with it. Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Carson, have you ever got a chance to go to see the Salamanca field?
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the top complexes, not only in Western New York. It is one of the top complexes in New York State. That's how beautiful it is down there. Baseball field, softball field, which is brand new, football field. And I'll tell you, every time they score, the lights all dance red for you out there.
Yeah. The Warriors looking to make that happen. Down 8, 10 minutes to play, 3rd down and 6. Bradley in the gun with Brown on his right hip. They send a man in motion. They're going to give it to Brown. Up the middle. Quinton has nowhere to go. Right into the teeth of the Bulls defense. Brings up 4th down.
I'll tell you, we're probably going to see another punt right here. 2 punts right in a row is what we're going to probably see.
If you could believe that.
And again, this is at least
4th down and a long 4.
Are they going for this?
They keep the offense out there.
Remember, he could do a pooch punt, you know what I mean, where he could actually step back. But
trying to get the defense to jump off sides. All 3 timeouts here for Salamanca, just 2 for Barker ROY-HART. They used one early. Play clock dwindling down. Snap. Rolling right on the option. They're going to pitch it out to Brown. He has trouble with it. Flag on the plays. He's taken down by Schwab, or excuse me, it was D. Sarkisian. We'll see what the flag is in the area of holding on the near side.
I don't think he got it, though. So I would say you're going to decline it if it's against Salamanca and get the ball right here.
If you're Coach Bruning, you're going to want to see the spot first at least. But it is a holding on the offense.
Look at where the spot is. The spot's on the 4. It's got to get to the 40. This is going to be 1st down and go over to Bulls.
A yard shy. Let's take another look here.
Nice pitch out, and you could see early flag right there, but he goes down, does not get to that 40-yard line, and it will be now 1st down for the Barker ROY-HART team.
I will say, though, on a 4th down and 4, it's very refreshing to see a speed option to the wide side of the field. Love to see it. 1st down and 10 from the Salamanca 39 for Barker ROY-HART. They're going to give this to the up man. Fazio has nowhere to go. But somehow he picks up a yard or two, brings up second down. Clock keeps ticking. Just over 9 minutes left to play.
And this is where you start to see a team, when you've got that lead, methodically try to move the ball because you want to take as much time off this clock as you possibly can.
So they're going to officially call it no gain. Runner marked down right at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Two receivers on the near side. McCaw in the gun. He gets a snap, hands it to Ryder, who gives it to Adenolfi. They scored on this play earlier, and they'll pick up around 7 yards. Tackled by number 13, Remy Fullman, the sophomore, in on that play. That'll bring up third down and a long 4 yards for the Bulls.
Tell you, one of the hardest things to maybe do at the end of this game, I don't care which team wins this game, to try to pick players of the game inside this one. There's been so many standouts in this game.
Third down and a long 4. McCaw draining every last second of the play clock that he can as we go inside 8 minutes to play. Ryder is the back. McCaw's going to take it himself with Ryder leading him. McCaw goes north, runs into a defender. He picks up a couple yards, but that'll bring up fourth down and maybe 2 yards.
And that's another big stop right there by Thomas George as he's right in the middle of that run right now to make that stop and make this a very play that's not a very easy play to be able to convert. We just saw it on the opposite way right now for Salamanca. This is a play right now that Salamanca's defense has got to step up, or can Barker ROY-HART right now get that first down and keep that clock just moving like they want?
It's fourth down and 3 yards to go. Barker ROY-HART leading by 8. Looking to chew the clock and add on to it. McCaw gets a snap, hands it off to Ryder, who gives it up to Adenolfi, but he's tripped up. What a tackle there. It was number 67, Kaysen Hardy, the sophomore, with a drive-saving tackle, turnover on downs.
Yeah, what a great job right here. You could see it kind of, right when the play comes, it seemed to be a little bit slow to develop right there. But really what you could say is, did you see that collision right there that had... I was trying to get that number right there, but did you see the collision happen right there, which slowed him down right there and didn't give him the opportunity to go for that first down?
So now Salamanca, first down and 10, inside 7 minutes left to play. They trail by 8. They were the last ones to score. It was a Connor Seeley 57-yard touchdown. They're going to give this up to Brown, who picks up a couple yards, but stopped by a host of Bulls, brings up second.
Starting to get the feel of this game like it's going to be the person that has the ball last, maybe the one that wins this game. That's been the feel, especially the way we've been going back and forth in this one.
You knew it was going to be a tight game, but as you said,
Silver Creek wins that game right now. They win 20-0. Jamestown up 42-0 at halftime.
Empty set. They send Brown in motion on the end around, but he's tackled in the backfield. D. Sarkisian takes the ball out. D. Sarkisian, a touchdown. Oh my goodness. All day long, just when you think Barker ROY-HART's done, here you come with another touchdown, Bulls. Referees have gathered. But it looks like the touchdown will stand.
Wow. And I tell you right now, who's your unsung hero? He did it right now and comes up big. But also you got to give Ryder credit on this one. When we show the replay, Ryder's the first one in that backfield that makes it stop. And then you can see D. Sarkisian then comes up with that big play right there.
Conversion here will turn into an extra point. McCaw is 0 for 1 today on PATs. Wind blowing from his left to his right. That's where he missed last time. Kick is up. And it is good. So now Barker ROY-HART takes a 37-22 lead. Let's take another look at this insane takeaway.
So watch when you're going to see. You're going to see Ryder be the first one to get into that backfield. See him come right up the middle right there? And then you can see slows him down. And then here comes D. Sarkisian as he absolutely strips the ball and then takes it into the end zone.
Well, that's been the theme all season long, is winning the turnover battle here for the Bulls. They had 23 takeaways, just 6 giveaways coming into the game. Make that now 25, both from Carter D. Sarkisian. That was his first fumble forced and recovered of the season. So we will gather again. Looks like we might have to redo the 2-point conversion. Was there a penalty on the play?
Well, it wasn't a 2-point. It was the extra point. They got the extra point. They said it was good.
They're sending everybody back.
So there must have – you heard a whistle.
See if the ball moves up.
So they're going to say it was offsides on Salamanca, and now it looks like we're probably going to see the Barker ROY-HART team go for 2 now because it's half the distance to the goal.
So the ball will be spotted at the 1-yard line. 2-point conversion. Power I for the Bulls. McCaw will give this up to D. Sarkisian, who battles into a Warrior but fights in for the 2-point conversion. 38-22. Barker ROY-HART leading with 6 and change left to play. Wow.
And here's one point. You realize that's the first conversion they've had all game. That's the first time they've actually had a conversion right there, and they've needed it right here at the end of this game where they come up big right there.
They lead Salamanca. They took their first lead at the end of the first half. Let's get an update that Grand Island is up in Class A.
Yeah, do the quick check the out-of-town scoreboard right there.
Scores around Western New York.
Okay.
After the possession, we'll give you a look.
Yeah, I got a couple guys. We said is, how about Silver Creek and Coach Helmer right there? That is huge. That is something that program has been trying to turn the corner, get more players. That coach has done everything for that team. I love seeing that Silver Creek score right there. That really is big. We knew that Gowanda game was real tight right there. That's another one we're going to take a look at here shortly.
McCaw will have another onside kick. Is it fielded by the Bulls again? Did Bradley fall on it? Ball is spotted just shy of midfield. The referees will come together. It is Barker ROY-HART ball again. The third onside kick recovered by the kicking team.
The game right now that we're waiting to see on the other side, Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton is up 56-12 over Akron.
Ball bounced and it was fielded right just past midfield.
It looks like Schwab actually hit it.
Yeah,
the back is what he did.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulls. McCaw's going to take it himself. Makes one move, goes upfield. Breaks another tackle and finally wrapped down after a gain of 7. But now we can really see Barker ROY-HART chew this clock. Well, the scoreboard may say that Barker ROY-HART is up, but this has really been a tight back-and-forth game between these two teams. 2nd down and 3. As the Bulls will try to milk every second that they can off the play clock. As you probably won't see the offensive line go down until there's around 5 seconds left from here on out. They're going to give this to the deep back, Ryder. Ryder has a couple of blockers in front of him. He's got a 1st down for the Bulls.
Wait, it has been, though, the entire game where it just has gone back and forth. There is not at one point where we could sit here and say oh boy, this team really, took it out and they got the lead and nobody's going to come back. Both teams have answered being down. Both teams have done everything they've needed to do to be able to go after a victory in this one. You wonder if that last play is really the difference in the game, that we've already called somebody the unsung hero, and look at what he does. He really becomes not only unsung, he's turning into a hero is what he's doing.
First down and 10 inside the 40. They're going to give this to the up man, Fazio. Vinny Fazio to the end zone. Touchdown, 38 yards. The Bulls put the nail in the coffin. His team leading 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And Barker ROY-HART, it's been a long time coming, and they can just sniff a victory right now.
Yeah, well, the fans are, obviously we're right in front of the Barker ROY-HART fans, and you could see how much they've really wanted this. They backed this team up the whole way right here.
So the conversion pending. We're inside 4.5 minutes left to play. Barker ROY-HART outscoring Salamanca 44-8 after they fell down 16-0. And the 2-point conversion is good from Ryder. 46-22, Barker ROY-HART leads. Let's take a look at that touchdown run.
Look at right there. See the line right there? And he just comes right through. It's that quick handoff right there. And you can see runs right through it and then breaks it out to the sideline in for the touchdown. And he gets his tutty that he was looking for today himself.
Now, you were lucky enough to have Coach Bruning and a couple of players in the studio from Barker ROY-HART. What was kind of the general vibe from these guys? Like we said, they've surprised everybody but themselves this season.
And that's what it is. They've been saying is, like, we've known how good this team is. We were just waiting for it to produce. But every team that we brought in, I don't care what team it was, every one of them all said something special happened in the offseason. And that's really where this all began in the offseason, how this team really came together. And then when you talked about a lineman like R.G. Townsend teaching everybody what happens inside a film room, it just took off from there. And now you can see they've really got the belief here.
It'll be a squib kick heading for the sideline as Brown will let it go, and the penalty will be thrown. So good news for Salamanca as they're heading into the way that the wind has helped, is most of the passing has gone from left to right on your screen tonight. The very little that we have seen in this weather. So the Salamanca offense will get the ball at the 35-yard line. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left to play. Warriors break the huddle. Bradley goes under center. He's going to fake this to Brown. Drops back. Bradley looking deep. Heaves it down the far side, and it's incomplete. Intended for Quentin Brown. Brings up 2nd and 10, but what a throw there. Another dual sport athlete, Peyton Bradley, a backstop. Could be a potential college catcher on our hands.
There we go. But obviously he's got the ability to do it on the football field as well. But you love talking about those two-sport athletes because I'm going to tell everybody, that's what the college coaches do. They don't come necessarily. They want to know the other sports you're playing. They want to see exactly how much of an athlete you really are.
Bradley flushed out to his right, directing traffic. Heaves it to the near side, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Carson Schwab. Schwab's third pick of the season, third takeaway tonight for the Bulls. And they'll take over.
Yep, you can see it. You could see Schwab was absolutely, there was double coverage right there, and Schwab was looking that ball right into his hands, and a great interception by him right there.
So the Bulls have really taking control of this second half after Salamanca got out to a great start. Just over 4 minutes left to play. See a lot of the rock run here from Barker ROY-HART. First down and 10. They're going to give this to Ryder, the deep back, and he picks up a couple of yards.
Can we take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard?
Yeah, we will. We have a player down. All right, here's your scores from around Western New York. Brought to you by Western Division, home of the great rate.
So Grand Island 22-7 in the fourth quarter. Health Sciences 28-0 over Kenmore West. Will South 35-14 over Olean. Gowanda 12-8. That's still the same score in the third quarter. Wilson defeats Cattaraugus Little Valley 22-0 in that one. And I think that's, and then you got the update we already gave you, the Chautauqua Lake score right there. Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton, who they were up 49-12 in that one. That looks like it's a third quarter still. Jamestown 36-0 over Lockport. I think that covers just about everything right there.
Couple games tomorrow. We've got Will East against West Seneca West. In Class A, Class B, Pioneer Lackawanna will go at it at Lackawanna. Depew, West Seneca East in Class B as well.
Yeah, those are all great games tomorrow. They really are. But the one, if you got to circle one right now, to me, has got to be that Pioneer Lackawanna game. They met week 1 of the season. Lackawanna wanted to test his players, took on Pioneer, which was not a conference game. It was a 7-6 game is what that was. And they're going to get a chance to face each other again.
Good old-fashioned football. Joe Ryder was able to get off the field on his own power. Inside 4 minutes left to play. McCaw on the gun with D. Sarkisian to his left. That's who he'll hand it to. Up the middle, and he's tackled right away. Looked like it was number 67, Kason Hardy, who's had a real great game in the trenches tonight on both sides for Salamanca. So after 1 yard gain in the last 2 plays for the Bulls, they have third down and 9 as we head into 3 minutes left in the contest. Two receivers to the near side. Tight end Ark on the far side. Ed Nolfi, the wingback. McCaw going to take it himself to the far side. He's got a couple of blockers, and he's taken down right around the line of scrimmage. A nice play there. It was Connor Seeley. Again, these safeties coming down and making aggressive tackles.
And folks, we do want to let you know, whoever wins the final, we will have post-game interviews. They'll be on X, they'll be on Instagram, they'll be on Facebook. Take a look for those, as we'll have the players of the game inside that interview.
So a loss of 1 yard brings up 4th down and 10 from their own 38-yard line as we head into the final 2 minutes. Looks like Coach Bruning will take a timeout, as we will. We'll wrap this one up when we return here on the NFHS Network.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
This is Heart.
4th down and 10. Tyson McCaw will punt for the Bulls. Waylon Dowdy is the deep man for Salamanca as they show pressure.
1 second from half court.
Off the side of the foot, and this will go out of bounds around the 43-yard line of Barker ROY-HART, and that's where Salamanca will take over.
So we said a lot of big games still left tomorrow. And then we've also still got another big one. It's not one that we're covering, but it is one that everybody's going to be looking at, and that's that St. Francis Canisius game for the Monsignor Martin title and the #1 seed inside that one as they get ready for the playoffs next week.
You'll be over there tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
7:30. They pushed it back. It's actually 7:30 start. There's a function going on at St. Francis, so they moved it back to 7:30.
Function going on. Swapping the footballs out. Minute 46. 1st down and 10 for the Warriors, who you can't say enough good things about. A well-coached team, a physical team, an aggressive team, a team that took Barker ROY-HART to the brink here. They're going to give this on a sweep to number 19, Jesse Hill, the senior. First time we've called his name tonight. One of the backs that was splitting time with Connor Seeley in the backfield, but there you see him in the slot. No gain, brings up 2nd down and long.
But I'll tell you, we aren't going to give it away, but if the game holds right where it is very tough to pick a few players of the game. There's been so many things that have happened positively for the Bulls right now.
2nd and 10. Bradley drops back, pumps left, comes back right. He's got Seeley. Seeley has a couple blocks upfield and taken out of bounds by Adenolfi around the 10-yard line. That's where they'll mark it. 1st down for the Warriors.
And does a good job of getting out of bounds right there. Stop that clock because you need every second you can right now for multiple scores.
Inside, a minute to play. The Warriors looking to put up another touchdown. Peyton Bradley really has done a great job commanding this offense on the ground, in the air. An all-around quarterback for Salamanca. He gets the snap, fires it in the seam, and that one is caught for a touchdown. Waylon Dowdy, his 4th touchdown of the week. That makes it 3 in the last 2 weeks. And Salamanca puts up 6. Bradley's 10th touchdown of the season. As we said, Dowdy had a $130 last week. That was a career high. And now we await the conversion. Timeout. We might have a time check here from our head referee.
Yeah,
Harris.
So the clock started running, and it shouldn't be running right now on a extra point right here.
All untimed downs. So they're going to put 53 seconds on the clock. Two-point conversion here for the Warriors. Bradley under center. Remy Folman was the deep back, but he'll motion into the slot on the right side. Empty set now for Bradley. They're going to bring a man in motion. Is Seeley. Bradley pop pass into the end zone. Caught. Two-point conversion good. Remy Folman comes down with it. And it's Barker ROY-HART, 46, Salamanca 30. Take a look at this touchdown pass. Another great bang post. Good anticipation by Bradley. Knew where he wanted to go. The seams have really opened up well for the Warriors tonight. And now they head in to the kickoff.
Obviously, we're going to expect to see an onside kick right here. So we should see a hands team come up. And we say that hands teams sometimes a lot of teams like to put their big guys out front. You may not see the big guys come out. What you may see is the skilled players that are used to trying to catch that ball, the deep people trying to catch that ball and be able to make a recovery right there and be able to say the game would be over then because they'd be able to kneel it out.
Carson Schwab up there. He's a defensive back. You got Vinny Fazio as well. Ball teed up by Easton Chuddy. Looks like he'll go to the near side. We'll see what he decides. And he will. It's a hard line drive that didn't go 10 yards. It was touched, but ends up in a bull hand anyway. R.J. Townsend comes down with it, the junior. Well, we can't say it enough. It's been a long time coming. A lot of firsts this season for Barker ROY-HART. Earlier on this year, they beat Medina for the first time since 1985. This, back-to-back, 2-7 seasons.
And in that game, 29 points in the second quarter is all they did. That was the only scoring, 29 points, and that's how they win the game.
And they'll kneel this one out. First season with Barker as the head school since 2016. Head coach Bill Bruning's first playoff game back, and he gets a win in front of the home crowd as they will host Chautauqua Lake right back here next week as McCaw knees this one out, and the Bulls make a statement win as they have done all season. The old guard of Salamanca in Class C has moved aside. Barker ROY-HART is here to stay. Tom, what is your takeaway from this contest?
Don't ever give up. You went down 16-0 into this game. You never gave up, and you pulled it right out, and you did it the way you wanted to play. Smash mouth football, run, and I'm going to sprinkle in some of the throws, and I did exactly what I said we were going to do, and I did exactly what everybody saw on film.
Well, it will be a matchup between Chautauqua Lake coming here to Barker ROY-HART. They did not match up this season in Class C, so the first time they will. What a game we've had. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this Friday night. For our producer, Tim Gardner, Tom Prince, I'm Carson Harper. We thank you. Again, the final tonight on Halloween night. The Barker ROY-HART Bulls 46, the Salamanca Warriors 30. Thank you again, and have a wonderful evening.
1 second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1.
Did he bring it in? He did.